Aladdin, which stands for Asset, Liability and Debt and Derivative Investment Network, is practically magical for many reasons. As of today, it is the world's largest asset manager, handling a huge chunk of the world's financial assets. The technology cuts across every asset class and every industry in the world, making it unarguably the most useful piece of tech in the financial space. Larry Fink was looking to create something big with Aladdin.
Staying focused for Jesus.
Thanks for waking up with us.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Staying Focused for Jesus. Hope each and every one of you are having a blessed day in the Lord Jesus Christ. As always, today is February 2nd, 2023. February 2nd, 2023. Thursday. The time is now 3:06 p.m. We're building our case and bringing these different things to light so you know what's going on. Now, I wanted to make sure I get this video out before I got to the other ones, because this one isn't going to take that long. Now, this is Larry Fink's 2022 letter to CEOs, The Power of Capitalism. And of course, we're not going to read all this. What we're going to do is we're going to let the machine read it. This is how you use technology the righteous way. We're going to let the machine read it, and then we're going to do some commentary on it, and then we'll be out until our next one, Lord willing.
Dear CEO, each year I make it a priority to write to you on behalf of BlackRock's clients who are shareholders in your company. The majority of our clients are investing to finance retirement. Their time horizons can span decades. The financial security we seek to help our clients achieve is not created overnight. It is a long-term endeavor, and we take a long-term approach. That is why, for the past decade, I have written to you, as CEOs and chairs of the companies our clients are invested in. I write these letters as a fiduciary for our clients who entrust us to manage their assets, to highlight the themes that I believe are vital to driving durable long-term returns and to helping them reach their goals. When my partners and I founded BlackRock as a startup 34 years ago, I had no experience running a company. Over the past 3 decades, I've had the opportunity to talk with countless CEOs and to learn what distinguishes truly great companies. Time and again, what they all share is that they have a clear sense of purpose, consistent values, and, crucially, they recognize the importance of engaging with and delivering for their key stakeholders. This is the foundation of stakeholder capitalism. Stakeholder capitalism is not about politics. It is not a social or ideological agenda. It is not woke. It is capitalism, driven by mutually beneficial relationships between you and the employees, customers, suppliers, and communities your company relies on to prosper. This is the power of capitalism. In today's globally interconnected world, a company must create value for and be valued by its full range of stakeholders in order to deliver long-term value for its shareholders. It is through effective stakeholder capitalism that capital is efficiently allocated, companies achieve durable profitability, and value is created and sustained over the long term. Make no mistake, the fair pursuit of profit is still what animates markets, and long-term profitability is the measure by which markets will ultimately determine your company's success.
How's it a fair pursuit of profit when the game is being rigged by mostly this person right here? He speaks about being woke. They've taken that and applied it to their own selves, their own people that take on something that deals with, more so from our perspective, something spiritual. This woke culture and stuff like that. Well, where did it originally come from? I'm just saying.
Make no mistake, at the foundation of capitalism is the process of constant reinvention, how companies must continually evolve as the world around them changes or risk being replaced by new competitors.
True.
The pandemic has turbocharged an evolution in the operating environment for virtually every company. It's changing how people work and how consumers buy. It's creating new businesses and destroying others. Most notably, it's dramatically accelerating how technology is reshaping life and business. Innovative companies looking to adapt to this environment have easier access to capital to realize their visions than ever before. And the relationship between a company, its employees, and society is being redefined. COVID-19 has also deepened the erosion of trust in traditional institutions and exacerbated polarization in many Western societies. This polarization presents a host of new challenges for CEOs. Political activists, or the media, may politicize things your company does. They may hijack your brand to advance their own agendas. In this environment, facts themselves are frequently in dispute, but businesses have an opportunity to lead. Employees are increasingly looking to their employer as the most trusted, competent, and ethical source of information, more so than government, the media, and NGOs. That is why your voice is more important than ever.
Now, for him to make that statement that employees are increasingly looking to their employer as the most trusted, competent, and ethical source of information, more so than the government, the media, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, he had to get that from somewhere. He's not going to make a statement just out of thin air. I mean, he can, and people will still believe it. But I know that there is a lot of validity to that. He's saying, hey, you're in these positions. You're not just a company. You're CEOs that are leading people. These people that you are leading, they are your buyers. They are the ones that are going to continue to allow you to continue making this money that you're making and invest in other places. To break it down and keep it plain, these people that are coming to you, you are their God. They're trusting in you. You are their master, and they are your slaves. They are slaves to your brand, which is why they trust in you like that. They're coming to your livelihood. They don't have the capacity to be able to start a business and run a business and do all these different things. Most people are too afraid to fail. These men have failed over and over and over again. They keep on going. That's what really differentiates them from others. Most people are too afraid to fail. They're too afraid to be embarrassed. They just walk in fear. All they want to do is eat, sleep, drink, party, have a good time, be entertained. And that's why men like this, and I respect the hustle. I mean, hey, I respect the hustle, because if I was not who I was, I would be gung-ho also. I was before. It's just that my energy, my spirit was focused in the wrong direction in regards to what I was doing. Imagine if when I was doing my illegal stuff, I was doing it righteously. Not meaning making the counterfeit money, but building a business and doing these different things that are going on right now. I would have been unstoppable in that regard. And I was unstoppable. But God, as God said, he said, nothing shall stop them from what they have imagined to do. Nothing was going to stop me. I was going to get to where I was going to get. And I was almost there. And I thank God that I didn't get there. Because it was a wrap, especially with the ideas and inventions I have. I had everything mapped out, planned out, these different businesses that I wanted to start, boom, 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 and I would have did it. Larry Fink, you watch this video, you come across it, AI give it to you, or however. I respect the hustle. In that regard, I respect the hustle. I respect your willingness to get out here and get it how you get it. Even if I don't agree with how you're getting it. But you know what's up. And this bigger war, this bigger battle, this battlefield that we are fighting on.
That is why your voice is more important than ever. It's never been more essential for CEOs to have a consistent voice, a clear purpose, a coherent strategy, and a long-term view. Your company's purpose is its North Star in this tumultuous environment. The stakeholders your company relies upon to deliver profits for shareholders need to hear directly from you to be engaged and inspired by you. They don't want to hear us, as CEOs, opine on every issue of the day, but they do need to know where we stand on the societal issues intrinsic to our company's long-term success.
Well, what are the societal issues that are plaguing America right now? What's the number one societal issue that's plaguing America right now? It's not a war. It's not recession. It's racism. And the woke culture. I'm not standing for this, I'm not standing for that, which is why he mentioned it earlier. You got to read between the lines, y'all.
Putting your company's purpose at the foundation of your relationships with your stakeholders is critical to long-term success. Employees need to understand and connect with your purpose, and when they do, they can be your staunchest advocates. Customers want to see and hear what you stand for as they increasingly look to do business with companies that share their values. And shareholders need to understand the guiding principle driving your vision and mission. They will be more likely to support you in difficult moments if they have a clear understanding of your strategy and what is behind it. A new world of work. No relationship has been changed more by the pandemic than the one between employers and employees.
A new world.
The quit rate in the US and the UK is at historic highs. And in the US, we are seeing some of the highest wage growth in decades. Workers seizing new opportunities is a good thing. It demonstrates their confidence in a growing economy. While turnover and rising pay are not a feature of every region or sector, employees across the globe are looking for more from their employer, including more flexibility and more meaningful work. As companies rebuild themselves coming out of the pandemic, CEOs face a profoundly different paradigm than we are used to. Companies expected workers to come to the office 5 days a week. Mental health was rarely discussed in the workplace. And wages for those on low and middle incomes barely grew. That world is gone.
That's what he said. That world is gone. This is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful man in the world that we know about. And the Bible tells us to be wise as serpents. I know a lot of this stuff be boring. So yeah, I don't want to listen to these folks and everything, but you got to understand what's going on. You'll be wondering how I be knowing stuff, because I read, I research, and ultimately allow myself to be led by the Spirit of God. Companies expected workers to come to the office 5 days a week. People don't want to, they realizing we don't want to do that. So we see that there's something is going on in the spirit. There's something going on where people are being moved. Like, I don't want to work no 5 days a week. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not doing it. We got to understand what's going on. It's for us to understand what's going on. They understand what's going on so they can move business-wise. But do we understand what's going on so we can move spiritual-wise? He's telling you that world is gone. People wanting to come in, or companies expecting workers to come in, office 5 days a week. That's why they talking about shortening the work week and everything, which is a smart move. If you can work a few days and work and make the same amount of money, 2 or 3 days or whatnot, then that makes more sense. Because in a worker that's coming in that has a better mental health is going to contribute more productivity to the company, which is as a company what a person would want. In the past, they didn't have that. Now they're seeing stuff is changing. People coming in, they all grumpy and stuff. That's not conducive to a environment of productivity, which leads to more money. Are we understanding? Are we understanding? He's seeing this. He knows this. He's like, look, we can't do that no more. It's not working. And that's why he has been able to put himself in the position and situation that he is in now, because he foresaw that before everybody else. And now they coming to him because, hey, he's like, I told y'all. Now you got to come to me. You didn't have to come to me before, but I knew y'all were going to come to me. I say the same thing. You ain't got to come to me and believe the prophecies that I'm giving, but you going to come. Because eventually what I'm telling you is going to come to pass, it's going to happen, and that's exactly what has happened.
Workers demanding more from their employers is an essential feature of effective capitalism. It drives prosperity and creates a more competitive landscape for talent, pushing companies to create better, more innovative environments for their employees, actions that will help them achieve greater profits for their shareholders.
What he's saying is it drives competition because amongst the employers, the workers, it drives competition in regards to what they can bring to the company. Then, because they're working for the company, that idea that the workers have pretty much essentially belongs to the company. The company then takes it and then they market it and make money off of it. Because most of the workers are not going to want to go through the whole process of building something up on their own, or taking that idea or whatnot and building it from scratch. They rather go work for the company and then, be able to express their different ideas. I don't want that. Now, I will do it if I have to, but I'm the type of man, I want the company. I want multiple companies. You can call me a black version of Larry Fink. He Jewish, I'm a Jew. So we do got that in common. I don't want to just be, a worker in the sense of having any different ideas. I want to be able to be in a position to have power to bring these ideas to fruition. And that day will come. And that is why, one of the reasons why we are a threat. Because we take a mustard seed and take over the whole, not world, but universe and galaxies.
More innovative environments for their employees, actions that will help them achieve greater profits for their shareholders. Companies that deliver are reaping the rewards. Our research shows that companies who forged strong bonds with their employees have seen lower levels of turnover and higher returns through the pandemic. Point 1. Companies not adjusting to this new reality and responding to their workers do so at their own peril. Turnover drives up expenses, drives down productivity, and erodes culture and corporate memory.
Erodes corporate memory. We want to have a good impact in the minds of the people that are working for us, because then they go out and we have pretty much weaponized them as marketing weapons to continue to promote our company to their neighbors, their community, and so on and so on, which drives profit for us because then they go out and buy the products, and then their people go out and buy the products. Now he talking about white folks, but this is all code for black folks. If you ain't figured it out. If you don't believe me, you can go look at the data, the same data he looking at. He got way more data than I do, and see who sets the trends for every single industry. Even when it comes to house designs and all this other stuff, we may not own the houses, but we set the trends for different things. And we discussed this. And the data, the information, the knowledge is out there enough for you to be able to research it and come to the same conclusion. Remember who the slaves are. I ain't saying we ain't got white slaves, because we all on the plantation together. But you got a lot of white people that want to act like they're not on the plantation. You got a lot of white people that want to act like, oh, we on the plantation, but we eating better food than you. You still on the plantation. When the plantation get to burning, you think they gonna try to free you because you white? They don't even see themselves as white. Why they ain't that vocabulary in that sense? They see themselves as wealthy. CEO. That's what they see themselves at. Now they look in the mirror, they white or whatever, all these other things, but they're not really focused on that so much in regards to you trying to use it against the very people you on the plantation with.
CEOs need to be asking themselves whether they are creating an environment that helps them compete for talent. At BlackRock, we are doing the same, working with our own employees to navigate this new world of work. Creating that environment is more complex.
You gotta remember, these are mostly old heads. These are old white men. They understand the world, but it's like certain people you can talk to and be like, I can't really talk to them because I don't relate to them on that level. Yet these people, especially Larry Fink, he has enough understanding. He's wise enough. He may not relate to the workers in that sense, but he got enough sense to know, okay, I still got to be connected and know what's going on because they're connected with the new world in the sense of they're on the ground. They know. Now we know because of data, but they know. This is a new generation of people. It's not like us. Now, a lot of us, we're blessed to be a part of that transitional crossover or whatnot. Well, we came in, especially the 80s babies. I was born in 83. To be able to cross over when technology was jumping in the 80s, right? Especially for me, I'm more so speaking about myself because, I was in that technology and I still am. But in that year range of when technology was popping, technology boom, up into this new technology that's being put out. We're blessed in that aspect. Of course, we're blessed in many, many other ways, but we're definitely blessed in that aspect. It's like we understand and we have the best of both worlds. We came in on the ground level with it, and now it's something new, and we like, oh yeah, we knew this was coming. And we were able to adapt and to maneuver with it and use it. That's why part of the reason why it's easy for me to understand what's going on. Because I grew up on this stuff. This technology and the computer, and I was the man. It just didn't come to fruition how it should have came to fruition in the righteousness. In that regard. Now, it's come to fruition in the righteousness in the way how God saw it fit, of course. But, in a typical story, okay, he grows up, he is smart, he does this, he does that, boom, 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 he goes off to this school and that school, and now he runs some, company, or he has some powerful position in some technology company. Now, that didn't happen for me. But I like the way my story is going right now. I love it.
Creating that environment is more complex than ever and reaches beyond issues of pay and flexibility. In addition to appending our relationship with where we physically work, the pandemic also shone a light on issues like racial equity, childcare, and mental health, and revealed the gap between generational expectations at work.
There you go. And I haven't read this yet. This is my first. I'm reading this for the first time with y'all. Racial equity. They are aware of all these things. I mean, he been knew about it, but he has to word it the way he words it. Because these old white men, he understands. But a lot of these old rich white men, they ain't trying to hear it. And he like, look, okay, you can keep on denying it and not getting with the program, but you're going to be left out. Either you're going to get with it or you're going to get on. And we're going to buy your company out. You get your little money and you can go off into oblivion. Or you can come get some of this real money that we're going to be getting. The money that they've made so far ain't nothing in comparison to the money that they talking about they're going to make right now and in the future. And that's saying something.
And mental health, and revealed the gap between generational expectations at work. These themes are now center stage for CEOs, who must be thoughtful about how they use their voice and connect on social issues important to their employees. Those who show humility and stay grounded in their purpose are more likely to build the kind of bond that endures the span of someone's career.
There you go.
At BlackRock, we want to understand how this trend is impacting your industry and your company. What are you doing?
You make more money when you create that they use the term lifelong bond, but we know bondage, with that person, because that person may have children, and that person has children and children, so on and so on.
What are you doing to deepen the bond with your employees? How are you ensuring that employees of all backgrounds feel safe enough to maximize their creativity, innovation, and productivity?
We know that's code word for black folks. Mostly black folks. I'm not saying that other people aren't included in that, but we know that's more so code for black folks. Yeah, you got your Chinese, your Indians in there, but it's more so code word for black folks. How we know that? Because we know how white folks already feel at work. They feel safe enough to maximize their creativity. The environment was created for them to do that. How are you ensuring that employees of all backgrounds feel safe? Just go ask the average black person, do they really feel safe at work to be able to maximize their creativity, innovation, and productivity? Meaning to share ideas that could be $1 billion idea. Then they keep it to themselves, and then guess what? The company's like, man, we could have used that. Now somebody else got it. When we could have kept it in-house by including them in this company, making them feel like they're part of the family. They will make the argument, hey, they are family, but we know how that goes. They're going to make more money. They realize that. I told y'all that before. I didn't know it was him, but I told y'all. I said they realize that by going with these different things, these social issues in this sense, and connecting with the people that are speaking about these social issues, we're going to make more money. Remember I did that video where, who was it? I forgot. It was a bank or somebody, and they were investing so much money in African American women. I did a video a while ago. Some of you may remember it. They realized it. Like, we're going to make more money by bringing them in instead of alienating them, which is what they've done. They've alienated us, and they've still made a killing. Now they realize, we make more money when we seem to include them in different things, and we at least open our ears up to hear their issues. Now they're more willing to share their ideas. They're more willing to be creative, and now we can invest in that and make more money for our shareholders.
How are you ensuring that employees of all backgrounds feel safe enough to maximize their creativity, innovation, and productivity? How are you ensuring your board has the right oversight of these critical issues? Where and how we work will never be the same as it was. How is your company's culture adapting to this new world? New sources of capital fueling market disruption. Over the past 4 decades, we have seen an explosion in the availability of capital. Today, global financial assets total $400 trillion. This exponential growth brings with it risks and opportunities for investors and companies alike. And it means that banks alone are no longer the gatekeepers to funding. Young, innovative companies have never had easier access to capital. Never has there been more money available for new ideas to become reality. This is fueling a dynamic landscape of innovation. It means that virtually every sector has an abundance of disruptive startups trying to topple market leaders. CEOs of established companies need to understand this changing landscape and the diversity of available capital if they want to stay competitive in the face of smaller, more nimble businesses.
Meaning that these old heads, they getting stuck in their mind. They saying, we so big, we can't fall. And these startups, they hungry. They hungry. They got fresh ideas in a new world. And now they got the money to go with it. And then before you know it, these startup companies are bigger than these current market leaders. So he's like, look, if you go ahead and get with the program now, you can be the one that's giving them the money, giving these startups money or whatnot, and then own majority of the company or end up buying them out or buying those ideas. I mean, I tell you, boy, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That's wisdom right there. That's wisdom. Smart move, because I would have did the same thing. I ain't gonna lie.
CEOs of established companies. BlackRock wants to see the companies we invest in for our clients evolve and grow so that they generate attractive returns for decades to come.
Exactly.
As long-term investors, we are committed to working with companies from all industries. But we too must be nimble and ensure our clients' assets are invested consistent with their goals. In the most dynamic companies, whether startups or established players, with the best chances at succeeding over time. As capitalists and as stewards, that's our job.
To make more money.
I believe in capitalism's ability to help individuals achieve better futures, to drive innovation, to build resilient economies, and to solve some of our most intractable challenges.
Remember, this company, BlackRock, is ran off of this artificial intelligence. It's programmed to what? Make money. The love of money is the root of all evil. Meaning that, I'm not saying the man, I don't know. Hopefully, he did start off good in that sense, with a real heart to do and make some change in the world for good. But somewhere along the way, we know how that goes, right?
I believe in capitalism's ability to help individuals achieve better futures, to drive innovation, to build resilient economies, and to solve some of our most intractable challenges. Capital markets have allowed companies and countries to flourish. But access to capital is not a right. It is a privilege. And the duty to attract that capital in a responsible and sustainable way lies with you. Capitalism and sustainability. Most stakeholders, from shareholders to employees to customers to communities and regulators, now expect companies to play a role in decarbonizing the global economy. Few things will impact capital allocation decisions, and thereby the long-term value of your company, more than how effectively you navigate the global energy transition in the years ahead. It's been 2 years since I wrote that climate risk is investment risk. And in that short period, we have seen a tectonic shift of capital. 3 Sustainable investments have now reached $4 trillion. 4 Actions and ambitions towards decarbonization have also increased.
I apologize for that, y'all. Let me see if I can fix it. It's making a point. Let me scroll down and see if any more is like that. I don't see. Just scrolling through. That way we ain't got to deal with that. I didn't know I was gonna read it like that. I didn't even know that was in there like that. Okay. I think we good to go. All right, back to it.
It's been 2 years since I wrote that climate risk is investment risk. And in that short period, we have seen a tectonic shift of capital. 3 Sustainable investments have now reached $4 trillion. 4 Actions and ambitions towards decarbonization have also increased. This is just the beginning. The tectonic shift towards sustainable investing is still accelerating. whether it is capital being deployed into new ventures focused on energy innovation, or capital transferring from traditional indexes into more customized portfolios and products. We will see more money in motion.
And they're going to make more money.
Every company and every industry will be transformed by the transition to a net zero world. The question is, will you lead or will you be led? In a few short years, we have all watched innovators reimagine the auto industry. And today, every car manufacturer is racing toward an electric future. The auto industry, however, is merely on the leading edge. Every sector will be transformed by new, sustainable technology.
Every sector will be transformed by new, sustainable technology. It's going to be, if we hear that long, it's going to be, let's say, a whole new world. It's going to be exciting, but it also is going to be troubling. Depending on how long we're here.
Engineers and scientists are working around the clock on how to decarbonize cement, steel, and plastics, shipping, trucking, and aviation, agriculture, energy, and construction.
Now he's telling some things what they're doing. He knows what's going on. Engineers and scientists are working around the clock. They're telling them, look, we need this done. And remember, they try to have it done by what, 2030? What's so important about having it done by 2030? It's because that's when they set the deadline and they want to make sure they have it done by then, or done by then, or is there something else? I mean, it's 2023 now. Before you look up, it'll be 2030 if you live that long. Let's just be real.
Engineers and scientists are working. I believe the decarbonizing of the global economy is going to create the greatest investment opportunity of our lifetime.
That's what I just told y'all. They're going to make more money than what they have been making right now. Because everything going to be connected. And then they'll be able to make money off of everything just because of that fact, because everything is connected. It won't be like it is right now. He knows that. They know it. He's trying to get them on board and trying to get them to see it.
I believe the decarbonizing of it will also leave behind the companies that don't adapt, regardless of what industry they are in.
Facts.
And just as some companies risk being left behind, so do cities and countries that don't plan for the future. They risk losing jobs, even as other places gain them. The decarbonization of the economy will be accompanied by enormous job creation for those that engage in the necessary long-term planning. The next 1,000
And this enormous job creation of these new jobs, you're going to start seeing them. You probably have already started seeing them. Means that you have a new generation of workers attached to your company. Which means a new generation of more money, more ideas, more innovation coming from these workers that are bringing their ideas to these companies.
The next 1,000 unicorns won't be search engines or social media companies. They'll be sustainable. Scalable innovators, startups that help the world decarbonize and make the energy transition affordable for all consumers. We need to be honest about the fact that green products often come at a higher cost today. Bringing down this green premium will be essential for an orderly and just transition. With the unprecedented amount of capital looking for new ideas, incumbents need to be clear about their pathway to succeeding in a net zero economy.
Meaning that all these startups, they want this money. They got to lay it out how they're going to get us, I mean, speaking from his perspective, to this net zero economy where everything is using this sustainable technology connected to these artificial intelligence systems.
And it's not just startups that can and will disrupt industries. Bold incumbents can and must do it too. Indeed, Many incumbents have an advantage in capital, market knowledge, and technical expertise on the global scale required for the disruption ahead.
It's like speaking to Elon Musk
Our
directly.
question to these companies is, what are you doing to disrupt your business? How are you preparing for and participating in the net zero transition? As your industry gets transformed by the energy transition, will you go the way of the dodo, or will you be a phoenix? We focus on sustainability not because we're environmentalists, but because we are capitalists and fiduciaries to our clients.
We focus on sustainability not because we're environmentalists, but because we are capitalists and fiduciaries to our client. Hey, we made our money off of oil and all these different things. Now it's a different world. We're capitalists. We're gonna go where the money is going so we can get that money. And the money is going into a world that is a world of sustainability, renewable energy, and so on and so on and so on. And if we keep on doing what we're doing, then we're not gonna be able to make no money because the people ain't gonna wanna. They're gonna be too sick to even do anything. He is understanding these different things. I give him credit for that.
That requires understanding how companies are adjusting their businesses for the massive changes the economy is undergoing. As part of that focus, we are asking companies to...
Okay, I want to hit on that point also. He said that requires understanding how companies are adjusting their businesses for the massive changes the economy is undergoing. Well, the economy is undergoing changes. That means the economy is not going to go back to what it used to be. A boy changes into a man. When my children were born, they were small and they changed. When they came out, they couldn't walk. They couldn't talk in the sense how they talk now. They changed. They didn't go back to that. They changed into someone different, yet the same person. My sons.
As part of that focus, we are asking companies to set short dash, medium dash, and long-term targets for greenhouse gas reductions. These targets, and the quality of plans to meet them, are critical to the long-term economic interests of your shareholders. It's also why we ask you to issue reports consistent with the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, TCFD. Because we believe these are essential tools for understanding a company's ability to adapt for the future. The transition to net zero is already uneven with different parts of the global economy moving at different speeds. It will not happen overnight. We need to pass through shades of brown to shades of green. For example, to ensure continuity of affordable energy supplies during the transition. Traditional fossil fuels like natural gas will play an important role both for power generation and heating in certain regions, as well as for the production of hydrogen. The pace of change will be very different in developing and developed countries. But all markets will require unprecedented investment in decarbonization technology. We need transformative discoveries on a level with the electric light bulb, and we need to foster investment in them so that they are scalable and affordable. As we pursue these ambitious goals, which will take time, governments and companies must ensure that people continue to have access to reliable and affordable energy sources. This is the only way we will create a green economy that is fair and just and avoid societal discord. And any plan that focuses solely on limiting supply and fails to address demand for hydrocarbons will drive up energy prices for those who can least afford it, resulting in greater polarization around climate change and eroding progress. Divesting from entire sectors or simply passing carbon-intensive assets from public markets to private markets will not get the world to net zero. And BlackRock does not pursue divestment from oil and gas companies as a policy. We do have some clients who choose to divest their assets while other clients reject that approach. Foresight companies across a wide range of carbon-intensive sectors are transforming their businesses, and their actions are a critical part of decarbonization. We believe the companies leading the transition present a vital investment opportunity for our clients, and driving capital towards these phoenixes will be essential to achieving a net zero world.
Meaning, get with it or we come to get you. Get with it or we come to. I mean, you can't be mad at that. The same thing Christ said. You either with us or you are against us. Interesting language he uses in regards to these phoenixes. He said you're going to go the way of a dodo or you're going to be a phoenix. Well, what does a phoenix do? The phoenix rose from the ashes. The phoenix rose from the ashes. Let me see. Phoenix rises from the ashes. What does phoenix rising mean? To rise like a phoenix from the ashes means to emerge from a catastrophe stronger, smarter, and more powerful. An example of rising like a phoenix from the ashes is someone who opens a new, successful business after his previous business has failed. I can relate to that. He emerges from a catastrophe stronger, smarter, and more powerful. They say you're going to be a dodo or you're going to be a phoenix that's going to arise from this catastrophe. Because it messed everything up in regards to what they were doing. It changed everything. God's will be done, right? Not their will. God's will be done. And if we look at it in mythology, it says the phoenix is an immortal bird. Are you going to be a phoenix? Is your company, is who you are going to remain immortal in the minds of people? Or are you going to go by the wayside and nobody's going to remember you? It says, associated with the sun, a phoenix obtains new life by rising from the ashes of its predecessor. Some legends say it does. Some legends say it dies in a show of flames and combustion. Others that it simply dies and decomposes before being born again. I think we go with the first one. That dies in the show of flames and combustion. I'm just saying, y'all. But I ain't gonna hold y'all up too longer. With that being said, God bless each and every one of you. In Jesus Christ's name, as always, stay focused for Jesus. And as you know, the truth is not debated, it is declared.